What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I'm going to go over the top mechanics that you need to learn that is very game changing to get far in FIFA 22. Let's go straight into it. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA, my Patreon series, patreon.com/nilguys, link down below in the description. You basically learn the meta before the meta is even out. But let's get straight into the video. So the first one is the L1 triangle or the lob through ball mechanic. I'm sure you've seen these videos. I'm sure you've seen them in before, but it's a different, I suppose you can see, explanation on how they work. So the first variation is a normal lob through ball. Think about these like the FIFA 13 lob through balls. All you want to do is, if there is someone running in behind and there's space around them, all you effectively want to do is you want to do a lob through, which is the L1 button, and of course, or the LB button and the triangle LB and Y, and that's it. You just hold it. So you can see, for example, like here, I'm just going to slow it down for you, and you said you can hold it LB and Y, and I would say do a bit more power than you think, because you want the ball to be going just in front of them as opposed to their feet. So you want to be doing the L1 plus triangle, and I'll say a bit more power just so it's very much in front. Now this is good if you want to get the ball forward from these wing type positions. You can get the ball going through, and as you can see, it's very easy to get the ball going through. If I actually took a touch there, it would have been the goal, but ended up volleying the first time. But it's actually another way of doing this as well. Now the other way of doing it is you double tap the triangle button after you made the lob through ball. So I'm going to show you this clip. As you can see, now instead of holding L1 triangle, I actually do L1 double triangle. Now basically what double triangle does, a double triangle is a lofted pass, but what happens is, now I'll explain this to you. If you do an L1 plus triangle, it's L1 plus triangle, the ball will be aimed typically, I would say, to the player that the left analog stick is aiming at, and it will apply power. However, if you use double tap triangle, so you hold L1 and you double tap triangle, what would happen is the game will do a perfect ball to the furthest person going forward. Now, the most important thing to remember is that it's only if someone is clearly in front of you. So I'll give an example. So let's play this clip. As you can see here, the player makes a run going forward, and then I do L1, holding L1, I press triangle twice. You see that? And then the ball goes perfectly right in front of them. Think of it like a threaded lob through ball. Now the key thing for this is, let's say for example there was another player, for example here, and then Babu was running in behind. If you did an L1 triangle now, the game will basically aim lock it on the closest or the nearest player near you. So if there was someone over here, the game might pass to them. So the best time to do this is to do it if there's only one person that's very much isolated, like you see in Babu. He's very much isolated. There's no one near him. The furthest player is Lucas, very far away. But with my left analog stick, there is no one near him. So if someone is running behind, you press the L1 button and you double tap the triangle. But what's more alarming is you don't even have to power it up. So that, as you can see, all I do is I hold the L1 button. I'm going to slow this down for you. I double tap the triangle with, look how much power, the most insignificant amount of power, but the game auto corrects the amount of power to get the ball going forward. So the benefit of this is you don't even actually have to basically apply power. All you have to do basically is you L1 and double tap triangle. If you're on Xbox, LB and double tap Y, and you can see how effective it is to go through. And in fact, a lot of my goals are scored this way, so don't forget, LB or L1 double tap triangle. The most differential aspect of going forward and getting the ball behind is L1 double tap triangle. Next thing we're going to talk about is finesse shooting outside the box. Timed finesse shooting outside the box being the most important things. As shocking as it is and alarming as it is, it's more easy to score this type of goal outside the box than it is to score inside the box. And that's mainly, especially on next gen, because AI is so effective and animations are just so crap from a defensive point of view. And the way this happens is very simple. When you're doing a time shot, the most important thing is the player. Now, ideally, you want a player that's got very good long shots. The finishing stat, in some respect, is irrelevant unless the finesse shot's inside the box. The long shot stat's the most important thing. The curve, and it's also shot power. If you can, of course, get a trait, for example, like the finesse shot trait, if you have all those together, it adds up to being the best. Generally speaking, the best long shots and the best curve is probably the best thing. If you've got the finesse shot trait, it actually amplifies even more. Now, all you want to do in this situation is you want to create somewhat of a 90-degree angle towards goal. You don't want to be facing any more outwards. So this would be the furthest you want to be facing away. And I would say anywhere between this angle would be completely perfect to get the angle towards goal. And what you want to do is you want to aim for the far post. So you can see, as I like here, I aim for the far post. And what you want to do is you want to do a finesse shot. So a finesse shot is, of course, R1 and circle, or R, B, and Y. And the idea is you want this to go into the back of the net, into the corner, top bins, because goalkeepers can't react to this. Now, what you want to do is you want to time it. Now, I would say it depends on the distance, how far you are. Because I'm quite far out, I go for about 3/4 of power. Quite a lot of power to get in the back of the net. And as you can see, when I time it and I shoot, the ball just goes into the back of the net. Now, the most important thing over here is that if you miss the timing, it's better to hit it late. Now, what I would say is you want to hit it a bit later than normal, because if you hit it late, it becomes grey. You don't get penalized. You hit it early, it becomes green. And if you hit it even earlier than you're meant to, it becomes yellow and red. So let me quickly just draw something out for you. So like imagine this is the green time curve, right? So here, for example, is the optimum region. This is where you want to hit the green time shot. Then you have the yellow zone. And then you have the red zone. Now, the last zone, we're just going to put it as blue. We're just going to call this the gray zone. I'll get back into it in a second. So don't forget to turn on time shooting on, because it's off by default. And the most important thing over here is you want to remember is that when you do a time shot, it all just depends on how far and how quickly you press time button. Now, my best advice is when the ball arrives to your feet. So for example, over here, when the ball arrives to your feet, you press the shoot button once. And then once your leg is at the highest point, when you're taking a kick, as you can see here, then you press the shoot button again, and that way it will be a green time shot. So if you hit it any higher or before that point, you hit it at the yellow zone. Now imagine, for example, a shot has, let's just say a shot has number of 1. If you hit it at red, it's 0.25. If you hit it at yellow, it's about 0.75. If you hit it at green, it's about 1.5. And you hit it at the grey section, it's 1. So in theory, the best effective region to hit it in is between these two, because at the grey or the blue zone is 1. That means you get no extra benefit to a normal shot. At the green zone is 1.5, so you get a bit of a power shot increase and a bit of accuracy. So that's the perfect zone. But the yellow and red zones, you get 0.75 and 0.25. Now these are not the exact incremental numbers, but this will give you a good indication. So you want to hit it between these two regions. So you want to basically hit it later than normal, because if you hit it later, it just turns into a regular shot. Whereas if you hit it too early, you get that negative effect. So the best ideology, in my opinion, is when you're doing a green time shot, once you create the angle, do the time shot. And as soon as your foot hits the highest point, then hit the shot button again. So don't forget it's a shoot button twice. So here you can see I press the shoot button once. The foot goes to the highest point, and then I press it again. If you are doing it towards the red or the yellow zone, just do it a tad bit later, just about here. It'll still be green or it will be grey. And don't forget, when it's a grey finesse shot inside the top of the top bins, it still goes in. The green time shot just helps it go in more often. But in fact, a grey time shot will go in 1 out of 3 times. The way to counter this is to move the goalkeeper. So don't forget about time shooting. The last tip I want to show you is the most underrated, and that is the player lock feature. A very, very quick and effective solution in getting behind. So the player lock feature was introduced last year, and that allows you to select a player that is off the ball, select them, and basically move them whenever you want, and then request the ball. Now, the best thing about this is down the wings, it's really, really hard to defend against. So my best advice is, when you get into these type of situations, right, and let's say your opponent is defending very, very well and you've got a lot of space, you want to basically click the L3 and R3 button inwards. Like so. So watch here. Press the L3, R3 button inwards. I then move my right analog stick down. So I select that player there. And I just run with them. See, now I've got that player selected. And if I want to request the ball, I press triangle and it'll give me a through ball. If I press X, the ball will come short. If I press square, then the ball will get lobbed to me. So I can request whatever type of ball I want. And as you can see, I asked for a through ball. The through ball gets played to me, and that allows me to get the ball before my opponent and get the ball past him. Now, this is very effective because once you go inside the box, what you'd realize is the finesse shot meta really takes place over here. And you see in a situation I end up missing the finesse shot anyway. But the most important thing is that here I can try to take it. It isn't the best of shots, unfortunately, just not enough power there. That's a bit of an underpower. But you see how the player lock feature is very effective in getting past. You can see the same thing over here with the player lock feature. I press the L3 and R3 button inwards. I then run with that player down the wing, and then I get the ball. And as you can see, it's effective to beat the first man. And here I use another skill move, which is called the super knock on, to push the ball going forward. Now, don't forget to watch my other videos to learn how to do these other skill moves. Thanks very much for watching. This is a short video, but one that explains through all these features. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my other tutorials on my channel. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.